Showtime! Showtime!
What's going on?
4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to our show,
Hack the Planet.
Hack the planet!
and for those late night hacks.
Go Cola, the soft drink of the elite.
What have we here? The 2023 Darknet Diaries. How pedestrian.
Oh, darling, you simply must try this Paul's Security Weekly. It's adequate, I suppose.
Adequate? How droll. What we need is something with more sophistication.
May I suggest the CounterSurveil? A bold blend of underground hacking notes with hints of DEF CON's circle bar conversations. Not for the masses, but perfect for the discerning cybersecurity connoisseur.
Oh my, this is exquisite. Such depth, such complexity.
Indeed. You can truly taste the cultured hacker experience. This is what real InfoSec enthusiasts crave.
Tune into the sound waves, secrets of the dark maze, dark codes in the nighttime, information, gold lines. We're free in the spotlight, shining through the late night. Smart contracts are lying, auditing, verifying. CounterSurveil in my ear, security we engineer. Learn the truth, don't disappear. CounterSurveil, we're right here. Crypto dreams and data streams. Listen close, it's closer than it seems.
Who are these guys?
It's Razor and Blade.
Find a payphone in a remote Razor and Blade.
That's right, this is a payphone.
Don't ask. As you can see, this is just a simple micro cassette recorder. Hook it up to the phone and drop in $5 in quarters.
Record the tones that the coins make, and hang up and get your money back.
And never again pay for a service that would be dirt cheap.
If it weren't run by a bunch of profiteering gluttons.
Remember, hacking is more than just a crime. It's a survival trait.
Hello and welcome to the CounterSurveil Podcast. I'm your host and creator of Shitty AI Intros, Frank, here with my co-host, Sledge. Down below, we've got Altkey and CrowdStrunk. And why didn't I say Havoc as my name? Because DEF CON's already got a Havoc, apparently. And thanks to Sledge, I'm going to get to be a goon this year for the first time legitimately. And my handle's now going to be Hammer, just because it's funny.
So now we've got Sledge and Hammer.
Exactly.
I guess it's
just like Razor and Blade.
Time.
It is
It's Hammer time. But like, all joking aside, man, if you have trouble gooning, there's pills for that.
Hey, man, I've already got those pills upstairs in the cabinet. I take them once in a while. You know, just when you need them. So we got a bunch of stories to cover this week, and most people are tuning in are probably very confused. Though, like, I didn't hear about some big breach. What is this you guys are talking about? 34 gigs of data from 2.8 billion accounts were leaked. You know what service this was? Well, you know, what do you guys think? This was X. It was Twitter. 34 gigs of data. Yep. This includes your email that you registered your Twitter account with. And the data is fairly stale. I would say it's at least 6 months old because it has my handle when I do search for myself, the way I used to format it. So I'm thinking 6 to 8 months of old aged data. They have 1.6 million records exposed, and this was via the Laboratory Services Cooperative, LSC. It includes also, I'm sorry, I mixed up two stories there because of my poor formatting. So the X breach there, once again, is only 34 gigs, about 6 to 8 months old, includes emails and metadata. So like what kind of device you use to log into Twitter, your email address, stuff you don't necessarily want people knowing if you're running an account, maybe pretending to be somebody else, right? Next, we have a Planned Parenthood lab breach. That's 1.6 million records exposed via Laboratory Services Cooperative, LSC, including social security numbers, diagnoses, insurance details, and the hackers accessed those in October of 2024. And we'll get into the rest of the story shortly, but I just wanted to get those up there for the people who tuned in just because they wanted to know what the heck that breach was about. So yeah, your Twitter info is out there. If you signed up with an email that you use for other stuff and you care about that, maybe switch your email I don't know. What do you think?
Do we know how
Sledge?
the Twitter breach was, like how it happened on a technical level? Does it say?
Not yet. It was posted on breach forums. At first, it looked like to be a compilation of breach data, and then it turned out that some of it was actually fresh. It was not all stuff we'd seen before. So as of now, all we have now is that somebody posted it to breach forums. They claim it's fresh data. It seems to be a mix of fresh and old data, in my opinion, but it's still a lot of accounts. And the ability to turn a Twitter user handle into an email address, which is kind of a big deal.
Where's our attribution dice? I'm going to go with phishing.
Okay, where's our attribution dice? Because there's someone here who really, really, really needs to be glad they no longer have a certain Twitter. I'm looking at you, Crowd Strong.
I am. I'm working on it. Leave me alone.
I'm looking at you, Crowd Strong.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting on the vector. Leave me alone.
Wow. I know you're driving and in a car, but my God, your audio is horrible. At least you look good. I like the shirt. I kind of like that shirt, actually.
Stylish.
So, other shit we've got in the news here to kind of keep things moving along. We've got regulatory and compliance updates. So, HHS HIPAA settlement with Health Fitness Corporation. They were fined $227,000 for an unsecured electronic patient health information system. And EU GDPR audits coordinated enforcement of a right to erasure compliance has been launched, meaning that you will have, this related to the whole LSC thing, like 1.6 million people affected by that. So not great. JIT, who remembers JIT? I used to use JIT. Automated AppSec risk assessments with JIT is apparently, I don't know how that's related to kidney dialysis hack, but let's see. So a kidney dialysis firm, DaVita, disclosed Monday it suffered a weekend ransomware attack that encrypted parts of its network. They are a major provider of kidney care in the United States, operating over 2,600 outpatient treatment clinics, 5,500 organizations. In a Form 8K filing, they had a ransomware attack, affected some of the systems on their network. Apparently, they were unaware.
Was it just the network, or was it devices too?
You know, the article here hasn't said yet, but it might. At the time of the writing, there are no announcements on their website or social media about the disruptions at its centers. They have implemented their contingency plans. Doesn't say how they were hacked. Doesn't say anything we care about here, but it is interesting nonetheless that these ransomware actors are still going after health organizations when some of them at least claimed they weren't going to do that anymore. And Fortinet having issues yet again. This time, hackers are exploiting flaws to plant stealth backdoors in FortiGate devices, maintaining access even after you patch it. So if you took too long to patch, you could still have somebody in your firewall. How scary is that, even after you patched it?
Like, patching.
Yeah. Last I heard,
hey, it's
like,
Aphex.
Didn't that patch actually introduce, I think it was 3 new CVEs?
So yes, so that is
wow,
specifically
like the anti-patch.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that's like military uses Fortinet. Like they're pretty high grade like piece of hardware, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're medium range, I'd say. Like
Depends.
some fortunate big companies use them, some smaller companies use them.
I know a few research institutes that use them, but I'm not going to say which one.
I've got one sitting here that I'm never going to plug in because I hate it.
I had a client that had it, and I was like the IT guy, and it was like a fucking nightmare to work with. I mean, you could do basically anything, which I did appreciate, but it was just absolutely like a nightmare to work with, generally speaking.
Yeah.
It's like dealing with the AWS interface, where it's like you can do a lot of stuff. It's just the UI blows.
It's a spaceship.
Right, but like, yeah, right. It's like a It's like a 747 console. You know what I mean? It's like all the knobs, whatever. You only need 10% of them, 10% of the time, kind of thing.
Right. So what's up, Afix? Is this your first time being on?
No, it's not. But it's the first time in a couple months, probably. I feel like I did a little Euro travel. Saw Rome and Venice again. Beautiful. Highly recommended. Go to Venice if you haven't. It's just like it's a city that's made like essentially a piece of art that is a city that's just sinking into a lagoon. And it won't be there forever, but it's great. But it is really cool. Yeah. Otherwise, I popped on to talk about the audio portion of the podcast, but we'll get to that eventually. So, I missed the first couple stories. We didn't get to the alien one, right?
Which one?
The alien one.
No, the alien one hasn't come up yet. I'm gonna go grab the link to that you shot over, and
it's so go over stupid.
That. I think I know which one you're talking about.
It sounds like stuff I heard on like Alex Jones a bajillion years ago or something. Like I don't even know. It's like David Icke type stuff.
So our source here is GreekReporter.com. Hopefully they're verified.
What's their Trust Guard score? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So let's share a Chrome tab on that one. So CIA's declassified file detailing Soviet soldiers' encounter with aliens goes viral. And I always take these things with a grain of salt. A lot of them just seem like massive disinformation campaigns or look here while we do something else kind of stuff. This one is a declassified CIA file from the Cold War era, detailing possible encounter between Soviet soldiers and a UFO, how they allegedly turned 23 soldiers into stone. Right.
I guess I
forgot to turn off my advertising stuff because I was on this website recently.
How many drugs did the writer of this have? Because they need a share. They need a fucking share.
It sounds like those
CIA,
soldiers.
So lots of L.
Those soldiers had too many of those drugs we were talking about earlier. They just got really, really hard.
They fired a surface-to-air missile at a low-flying saucer-shaped craft, forcing it to crash nearby. Yada, 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 were turned into stone. Petrified, leaving only 2 survivors. Sure.
Sure.
We're Medusa now? Is that what this is?
Sorry, CrowdStrong sounds like the alien from this source. Like, we can't do anything about it. He's just kind of CrowdStrong in the day, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
It just seems so silly, but I don't think they even link to the OG documents, which would be way more interesting. I'll show you some crazy CIA docs if you want, like RDP 96.
Oh yes, please. Insane. Some of those fuckers were high. I love
RDP 96 was that we're in a white hole becoming a black hole, and it's dude, it's the craziest shit. It's actually pretty awesome, and they talk about remote viewing type experiments. It's really awesome, but
that actually does sound interesting.
I love all the conspiracy theory stuff, but I don't necessarily always take it too seriously. I enjoy it though.
No, that was not a serious article.
I mean, if you take it seriously, then you're just going to probably injure yourself. Let's be honest.
I injure myself all the time.
If you want the TLDR, I'm pretty sure that we stopped saying ET and started saying NHI because they're not extraterrestrial. They've actually been here the whole time. They're probably in the Bermuda Triangle under the water. That's my guess.
Those are ultra-terrestrials, man.
Inception.
Fun stuff.
All the military videos you ever see are always over water.
Yeah, that's a good point. So what else have we got here in the news? Anything important? It doesn't look like anything great. RunSafe Security released a tool to analyze memory-based CVEs. That's kind of cool. Scan your memory space. A lot of stuff is memory only now. Medusa ransomware tactics have changed. They're using stolen certs and malicious drivers now to disable endpoint detection and response tools. That's kind of cool. And Hunters International rebranded. That's a ransomware group. They used to use, now they're just doing pure extortion. No more ransom. So they'll hack you. They're like, nope, no need to encrypt. We got your shit.
I do
got some Android malware
updates.
It might just be streamlining the process, I guess.
So go ahead there, Sled.
I mean, if one's too much effort.
Dhash just overhauled their entire website and a lot of their services too. I haven't looked into it much yet, but go look at their new website.
All right.
Let me see what the pricing model is now.
It used to be $5 for a week, if memory served.
Yeah, it was like $5 or $7 for the week.
Ooh, it's like a professional looking website now.
Charging by a week is weird.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, some people only need access to look shit up for a little bit and then pay for your time, I guess. Kind of works. So, yeah, the site doesn't look too different from what I'm used to. Let's share a screen here. So I logged in with one of my alt accounts here. And yeah, it pretty much looks a little different. Maybe if you do a search now, they won't have all that crap where you have to do all the fun stuff. Do a search here on one of my emails. And it's going to tell me I don't have any credits probably because I haven't upped this in a while. Oh, at least it tells me what breaches I was in. That's kind of cool. And I can check them. And
is it kind of like a have I been pwned or something? I'm not familiar.
It's like have I been pwned if he was less ethical and actually gave you the passwords that were in the breaches.
Correct. You can actually see the passwords in this.
So it's better.
Oh.
Yes.
And download a CSV. Look and see which of my passwords were breached. Let's look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty slick.
I usually use their API to get this shit, but yeah. So it's showing hidden because I haven't upped it, but they've got them. It's got the Tumblr, Twitter, FitnessPal, Chegg, LiveJournal. Holy crap! It's been years since I used that. Yep. So the new one you can at least use without a paid account to look at what breaches you were in, and then you can pay to see the hash data if you want. So that's kind of how that works. So
and every now and then you get lucky and find a clear text.
Very rarely are you going to find one that's actually going to work to log into anything, but it has happened on pen tests. And SpyCloud is an alternative. Yep, Shep is correct. So SpyCloud is just like Dhash, same kind of shit. And
I like the OVN or the OVPD data breach. Searching through that's always juicy.
Has anybody actually tried the new 45 gig rockyou.txt against anything?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Can't
Did it
confirm.
work at all?
It works.
I tend to use WeakPass V4 nowadays when I'm actually cracking shit. It all works well.
Just a lot smaller and quicker, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's actually WeakPass is a pretty big list. It's compiled from multiple other compilations. It's weakpass, I think .org. It might be different extension there. They have a whole bunch of different word lists you can download on their website for different stuff, kind of specialized. Like this one's better at Wi-Fi versus this one's more geared towards whatever else. Who cares?
And then while we're on the new tool thing, I don't remember if we mentioned it yet, but the new 2025 version of Kali dropped the other day. Which
I have not used Kali for a bit.
It's still Kali.
It's still Kali.
I like the Windows mode they put in there a while back. That's kind of cool. You're like,
yeah, that one was neat.
You don't want everybody to see you're using Kali. So now it's like you're running Windows with a bunch of command prompts open, which is probably even sketchier.
Honestly, it is. Let's just
like me right now.
Yeah, let's be real about that.
I know if I was doing a walkthrough of an office and I saw some dude with 9 command prompts open, spread out through his window, I'd be like, that guy's doing something either fun or something he shouldn't be doing. But either way, I want to say.
Or both. It might be both. I mean, those are not mutually exclusive.
One of my most proud little pieces of software, at my last company, was basically trying to figure out how to take all the different cloud services we had and all of the log files from all of them and then pipe them all using essentially a SSH star. Just I want to go to everything at once and just pipe it back to me. And then obviously there's too much data to actually read. So then I wrote something that would essentially just use file directors, what the fuck am I talking about here? File descriptors. That's the word. File descriptors to then like it would just read it as quick as possible, and then actually, like, depending on words in each log line, condense it to single characters, and then like the background and color of each character would kind of like tell you good, bad, yes, no, and like, but like full errors, which is so you see for every single line you'd get a single character just printed to the screen across. It kind of looked like the Matrix, actually. It was pretty sweet. Like, as you're getting thousands and thousands and thousands of log files going by, it's like you can really, really quickly see, hey, this one had a weird error. Hey, this one had a weird error. Like, that was actually, I don't know, one of my.
I approve of the Matrix shenanigans.
And let me, I'm gonna respond to this comment real quick. Speaking of Hashcat, let's highlight another tool real quick. NPK.
Oh, is that the thing that dude's got set up in the cloud?
Yeah. It's basically Hashcat in the cloud.
Yeah, that shit's fucking neat.
It's CloudCat.
He used that for us when we were doing an engagement and needed some hashes cracked. That was some good shit. Mostly serverless distributed hash cracking platform. And that would be, we're going to share our screen here. Chrome tab share. Well, that's not it. Best ID theft thing. That's not it at all. Try one more time.
As you pull up your bank account.
Oh, that would be hilarious. So NPK from Coalfire Research. Doesn't look like it's been updated recently, but should still work just fine. It's a distributed hash cracking platform built entirely of serverless components in AWS, including Cognito, DynamoDB, and S3. Designed for easy deployment, intuitive UI brings high power hash cracking to everyone.
And then you could pay for how many GPUs you want to use and how fast you want it to go and yada yada.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. You kind of get an estimate on how much it's going to cost before you do it, and then you execute it. Max price enforcement, runaway instance protection, multi-tenancy SAML-based sign-on. That's a cool feature, man. I like they've got SAML sign-on. You can integrate your MFA into that. Data lifecycle management. Yeah, it's a cool program. I always like new tools, man. All the new tools. First, you got to learn how the tools work before you use the new tools, but it's still cool to have tools. Speaking of tools, Afix, why don't you tell us, high level, how do you make it so that you're able to take all episodes of the cast without having any special access to our YouTube, extract the audio from all of them, and dump them into a Google Drive?
Yeah, well, so obviously the getting into Google Drive part is pretty easy. You just drag it in. But outside of that, YTDLP, which is essentially the kind of like follow-up to something many people have heard of called YouTube-DL. But YTDLP is basically the people that kept working on the project, and works with a bunch of other sites, actually. Works with Twitter, works with pretty much everything that has media files. And so YTDLP, you can then quickly submit, like just give it essentially any URL. In this case, I gave it the main channel link for this with the search query of CounterSurveil, which missed the one that Sledge wrote incorrectly. You just go to the download or go to the you just go to the releases page, just download the executable, throw it in user bin, call it a day. That's pretty much how I rock it. And I got a couple flags that I'll put in there. Usually just like make the file names not suck and get rid of spaces, exclamation points, because otherwise it'll base it on the title of the video. From that, you can say like that'll just actually get you can basically just tell it, I want the best video and best audio quality formats, merge them together in whatever container that works in, gives you that file, and just have it brute force kind of go through the whole list of your search query, which in this case was like what at Iron Geek query CounterSurveil. Again, that's the one that Sledge typoed. Anyway, just want to rub that in a little bit.
I get it.
And then actually, this is a super old school tool that I highly. So before that, FFmpeg is like a Swiss Army knife of media files. I highly recommend anybody who's not familiar with FFmpeg. It's amazing nowadays. And so you'll use that to rip out a WAV file, which is PCM 12LE or something like that. This is the actual audio codec that you'll need. 44.1 kilohertz, blah, 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 blah. A couple flags, you'll look it up. GPT will tell you the answer if you want. And then like once you use FFmpeg to extract a wave file from whatever the input is, whether it's a wave or WebM or MKV or MP4, doesn't really matter what YTDLP gets. FFmpeg's awesome now. From that, once you have the wave file, the reason you need to make it into a wave is there's a super old school piece of software that was great a bajillion years ago, and it still is, made by Conversations Network or something. It's like a super old school audio podcasting like whatever network. And so they wrote this tool called the Levelator 2. You can, I don't know, I sent the archive link because it's so freaking old, just in case. But you can find it on the Wayback Machine. Levelator, you literally just drag a WAV file into it, and it just like looks at the whole file, makes the peaks and the troughs of the volume of the speaking about equal. So it's essentially a compressor, but it does a little bit more work than that. And the Levelator is fantastic. I highly recommend it. And you can see on the Audacity thing, like screenshot there, how it does look all blown out or like it's really light, but it makes sure nothing's actually peaking, but it also makes sure you can actually hear all of it, which is really, really helpful for, especially when you have two people in a conversation. We have different mics, we have different audio setups. You want to make it even. And so this will do, so you literally drag the WAV file into that. It's only just a UI thing, unfortunately, so it's not super easy to CLI. And then it'll just dump whatever it is, .output.wave into the same folder. And generally sounds pretty freaking good. And people aren't like turning up their volume, turning down their volume, any of that crap. I highly recommend down mixing to mono, which is the -AC1 audio channels set to 1, because a lot of people won't hear it when they listen to podcasts, and so that can get confusing if for whatever reason one of us is stereo. And then from that, again, back into FFmpeg, and they actually have like neural networks now that you can just look on their GitHub. And I meant to find the link for you before we started. I'll just find it right now. But you with FFmpeg can actually say, hey, process this file with this trained network, which are actually very small. Surprisingly, it's like 260 kilobytes. RNN conjoined burgers. Yes, here you go. So here's the link for that. I'm posting it in the back chat here. And so this is you can take any of these. It shows you a little table at the bottom there, but you can then pick I want a general RNN, voice, speech, whatever, and they have a specific difference there as far as like picking up laughter and things like that. And essentially, then you can use as a filter in FFmpeg. I want to use this like trained model, and I want to just and again, it's not new; it's 7 years ago, and do like a voice enhancement, and then essentially or dialogue enhancement specifically. And so I think I just use the general conjoined burgers one for recording. And so so then you've leveled all the audio, and then you essentially bring out the speech parts of it to make it sound better. So yeah, that's how we. In theory, have up until this episode that we're currently doing, audio, hopefully, that sounds pretty good for all of the existing episodes that I've sent to you. So that hopefully you should be able to put on the pod feeders and things like that. I'd love to learn more as you do that, what some of the better deployment networks are. I know Libsyn is one, there's a Podcatcher, there's a bunch of them where you can kind of just blast out to hit the Apple Store and so on and so forth. One thing that is important with this whole process, it's really meant to just enhance speech. So if I know one of the things that is CounterSurveil tagged is actually just a song, it's not good for that. It's gonna make it's gonna kind of mute the music part in the background, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. So just be aware of that part. Otherwise, it's honestly, you could probably do a single batch script or shell script, like bash script, either one, that would basically do this all in one fell swoop for anybody who wanted to. In theory, I'm trying to make the little supercut of some of the most recent episodes. That's a separate conversation.
Sounds like a cool idea.
Antari's auto-tune for my raps. Love it. A Melodyne is the auto-tune that is less obviously auto-tune. Just FYI.
I am Lord.
Yeah, no, I love production. I back before I had my last gig, I ran my own business for a while, and every extra dime I had, I spent in my basement, building a like a recording studio in my basement for my little brother's band, and it was just like so much fun to look. We had like a 16-channel Mackie soundboard and all the mics and gear and all sorts of shit. It was awesome. And like, I would love just like working a whole day and then just basically after 5-6 p.m. go downstairs, buy the kids some beer and just listen. Basically, get a free show for the night. I do that like every night. It was a lot of fun.
Side tangent.
Yeah.
I have a recording studio in my bonus room upstairs. I've got a drum set, bunch of guitars, a 48-channel digital board, everything.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
And I've got so much live audio speakers that I actually work with bands here on the East Coast doing live audio. And we did a concert in my backyard a couple of years ago and got the cops called on us. And CrowdStrong actually helped me with one of the shows that we did here on the East Coast.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of fun. That room is a lot cooler than he's telling you, I promise.
That's awesome. Well, so lesson learned. Now we know whenever you're going to throw a party, you always invite all the neighbors. Even if they say no, they're not going to call the cops on you if you invited them.
Well, only 9 cops showed up.
Make sure you have extra beers for the cops.
Yeah.
Like, would the cops down to party, though? Like, that's the important question.
I had written permission from the sheriff. He just shows up, knocks on the door. He's like, hey, we're getting so many complaints. We can hear you 4 miles down the road. I got to at least tell you to turn it down.
You don't need to be that
and I was like, okay. But as he's standing at the door and all these other cop cars around my house, the head of HOA, her name is literally Karen, runs up to me screaming, threatening to call the cops on me. And I'm like, he's right here. Talk to him.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's a literal Karen.
That's awesome.
Okay, there ain't enough money in this world to make me want to live in an HOA. Like, if there ain't no other options, I'm sleeping in my car.
Friends don't let friends have HOAs. That's the thing.
That's right.
But
John Oliver
that's
covered
pretty much
the HOAs today.
for me, by the way. Oh, did he? That's really funny. Everybody likes to be their own little petty tyrant. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. But one thing I do want to add is like just how freaking awesome FFmpeg is now. Like I think it was CrowdStrong. He might have been like poo-pooing it or whatever. Like, that sounds old school as fuck. Dude, you can concatenate stuff. You can put text on videos. You can embed subtitles into the video file. You can do so much nowadays, like with FFmpeg, that it's like honestly an amazing media multi-tool. And that's how YTTLP actually works. Like after you download a thing, if you want to like have it combine into a specific format or whatever.
I used to work at a data center that hosted mainly porn, and we would have to fix everything using FFmpeg. And man, 15, 20 years ago, that was such a bitch.
FFmpeg can stream directly out to an RTMP server now, like the binary.
So it's gotten better. Is what I'm hearing.
Oh, sorry.
You see him trying to get in there?
No.
I didn't know doing your platform. I was going to ask if we were going to get stuck on Spotify at some point. Is it
stuck? Are we going to get stuck on what?
Spotify?
I missed it. Oh,
Spotify.
I think, yeah. So I think Havoc, you were talking about doing Spotify. There's a handful of them. I don't know how the like setup is as like an artist to submit your
got to
stuff.
figure out the best way to make it so I don't need to manually upload these episodes. Like you were saying before, there's a lot of tools to do that. I'm going to have to potentially either grab, creds or, hashes or something to be able to log in to all this shit automatically. So these tools work, and haven't started working on that yet. So I meant to say
there's got to be
hashes, but
I wouldn't be
there's
surprised
definitely
if
a way.
Libsyn or some of these other ones, like we're able to literally like you could just point it at your YouTube channel or whatever. That doesn't really work in this. I mean, maybe with the new channel, but like that, there's probably things like that. But obviously, you lose the audio leveling kind of step. I think probably to a large degree.
It would be nice if I could literally just take the files and drag them somewhere, and then have them automatically upload to all the platforms.
I would have to imagine that's how it starts. I can't think like any brand new artist. If you've got actually music and you want to put it on Spotify like that, how else would it work?
We also had this fun idea of transcribing the words in each episode and then automatically going through. So let's say, hey, add that to the show notes, end sentence. And then it takes that sentence and puts it in the show notes for us. That would be pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, I've got a less automatic way of doing that, but yeah.
Yeah, well, so one simple way, and I've seen it done like on bigger channels where you've got a couple moderators or whatever, and you can always obviously do it just as the sole moderator or whatever, like admin of the channel when you're logged in. Nightbot does it, and I know there's other streamer bot extensions that do it where you can just do like /marker and then just give it some text, and it'll actually also StreamYard. I'm pretty sure it's B or M, one of them, like literally puts a marker in the stream. So that you can like review it after the fact and like basically turn it into a chapter when it gets uploaded to YouTube and shit like that, which is pretty cool. So there's definitely ways to do that, but also being able to like kind of crowdsource that a little bit and having like the people that are watching it be able to say like, awesome joke here, you know what I mean? That kind of thing is pretty cool if you got a couple of people that show up regularly and basically trust what they're doing. Worst case they can do is they just add extra markers that you don't care about. But that's certainly one thing that is somewhat automated. StreamerBot's crazy, by the way. You can use like C# or JavaScript essentially and like code it, and it can talk to OBS on a WebSocket, but then also talk to YouTube or Twitch or whatever on via WebSockets and like do pretty crazy. I mean, pretty much whatever you can imagine. Like can literally change the visual layout based on the text and rewards that are whatever. Like there's some awesome stuff I can show you guys later that I've learned from what is possible with that. Yeah, it's really pretty wild actually. You can essentially automate your stream, and you can automate OBS from your stream and vice versa. Like it's like a two-way WebSocket connection essentially, which is really freaking cool. Yeah,
WebSockets are so insecure.
Well, that's why you do them. Well, that's why they're only allowed over HTTPS.
Thank you for all the work you've done on that for us.
No problem, man. No problem. I love the production aspect of a lot of this stuff, so I'm happy to help. No problem at all. But yeah, how's everybody else doing? What's next on the agenda? Anything exciting?
We've got some pretty big guests in the pipeline.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we're pretty happy about it. Sledge has been doing a great job recruiting people to come on here, nagging them.
Heck yeah,
I
some
just
people are good at
happen to know everybody. Oh yeah,
There's
you were
worse problems.
requesting. He was requesting I wear this today.
It is too.
Oh, you're not allowed. Remember, Ratman said no.
You haven't earned it.
Oh no, I have.
No, he's definitely earned it. He is a goon legend.
That's only the 10-year badge. This year's going to be 15 for me.
I mean, I just realized like the drug rug made of like lanyards behind you. That's hilarious.
It's a tie rack.
I think a lot of InfoSec nerds, if you look at their room, they've something very similar going on in the background. Mine are scattered everywhere, but I've got a few hanging up behind me. You just can't see them because I have a filter up.
I'm actually out of wall space. It's wrapping around. It wraps around the room.
Holy shit!
That plus some of the shit I stole from Black Hat and some of my DEF CON flags. I'm out of wall space.
That's pretty nuts.
Good times.
In theory, I'm creating a supercut as we speak from 3 episodes, but we'll see how it goes.
Oh, that'd be cool. I used to have a subscription to Vizard AI that would take what I thought would be interesting content from episodes and then cut it into little shorts. It didn't do a good job with a 2-hour podcast. It ate all months worth of API credits in like a day. And it's like, sorry.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Here's your one short, and it sucks.
I believe.
Boosh.
Yeah, I totally believe that.
Yeah, we all like to keep our lanyards and shit. There's a bunch of them over there in the mess of this room.
That I did. You mentioned it. About like just being able to take like an hour. I've been kind of writing the supercutter software, and like you can probably see my video starting to take a shit while it condenses all this stuff. But like, yeah, I love that idea of trying to distill these longer form conversations down to the core parts. Because it's not easy actually. And like, you can't just pick words or sentences. There's generally like things that connect the different ideas and things like that. And so
like mind maps are a great format for that. What I've found is if you take any GPT tool that's got like a decent input window as far as the input tokens. So like you want like your ChatGPT 4 or something equivalent. You can paste the entire transcript of an episode in and then have it generate, essentially tell it make it markdown and put it in mind map format. And then you go to this website called Markdown Mind Map. It's markdown-map.com. And you just paste that there, and then it creates a nice, pretty mind map for you based on what you put there, and it works pretty freaking well, arguably. So I could go like I'll do it live. So I use.
Yeah, have you? Hold on, I'm gonna kill this.
Not sure how it works.
Pushing for at all yet?
What's going on?
It works fine when it's running, but when you turn it on and off, that's when all your shit blocks up.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. You got it, dude. He is frozen. That's what he looks like for the rest of the cast. He's just going to be a thumbnail. So, say we go and go on the old YouTube here. We go to Iron Geek's channel and grab last week's episode where we interviewed. Who did we interview last week? I forgot.
Let's do the one with Moloch.
All right, so let's go to history here. Let's grab the video with Moloch. So we'll go to live ones. So I'm going to grab this video right here. And now I'm going to go, oh, maybe it helps if I share my screen, right? Demo gods be praised. So I'm going to use this GPT tool. This is just one I paid for that I can use that works pretty well for this. And I'm just going to have it summarize this YouTube video for me and give me some notes. So it'll extract the content, get me the notes. And then I pretty much just go to like ChatGPT after this. And I paste in the details that it gives me here. And I say convert to mind map markdown format. And then it makes it markdown, but in that nice little mind mappy format that you can paste into the other tool. So let's see what we got here.
Full screen that. That looks cool as hell.
So I'm gonna grab. I've given you access to this tool, by the way. That takes all.
Yeah, I haven't
right
played
here.
with it.
Well, you should. And then
That is
grab
super
it all.
cool.
All right, so grab all this shit that we got here about that episode, and scroll it down. Actually, it's got a built-in mind map that's not quite as good as the one I'm going to use, but I'm just going to use that for now so you can see it. We'll create a little mind map based on that. But you don't need to use that if you don't have this tool. What you can do is literally just grab this, go to say ChatGPT, say convert to mind map markdown format, and then just paste what you got there. And it pops it in here. This another little format here. Nice, nice, nice. That's what we want. It continues to generate it. And there we go. And almost done and good. And now copy that shit and go over here to Markdown Mind Map, paste that shit, and then boosh.
Ooh.
Right? See?
That is cool.
So where are my dick jokes?
That is pretty sick, not gonna lie. That's pretty cool.
Right? Not a bad way to break down a YouTube video so that you can very quickly see what the hell it was about. Well, we got all this cool shit in here about the episode.
Now it would be dope if you could click on one topic and it takes you to that spot in the YouTube video.
Bitch, you build it then. I don't know how to build that. It's a great idea. Go build it and come back next week and explain how you did it.
Somebody go build it. We'll have you on.
I like this one also because you can kind of screw around with the color formats. I like the one for Spotify generally. Yesteryear is also nice looking in gray. So you just kind of like can very quickly change the way the whole thing's formatted. So yeah, it's a nice little tool to use when your computer doesn't freeze when you're on the web page. And then you can click stop sharing, and then it works again when nobody can see it. That's how life is. But yeah, it's a cool freaking tool. And I use NoteGPT as just it's one that I came off like a while ago when I was looking for something to summarize shit, and I just paid for like a year of it, and I just used this to quickly summarize videos. It also took its own little mind map format here and made one. So let's see how that looks with what the hell it made. It made nothing. Nothing. It's a hard fail on their part. But it's easy to make one with that tool. I like how it connects ideas together, really, because it's probably a lot easier for visual learners to look at something like that and see what something was about than listen to a 2-hour episode. You know, we do like to talk here.
Hey, we're getting better than 4.5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm ran out of jokes.
So Afix's supercut generation is dominating his GPU right now, so he can't turn his camera or mic back on. He froze his machine to generate us a supercut. So we appreciate you. There he is.
Hear me now?
He's back.
It just freezes when you start it and stop it.
Is it okay now, though?
Yeah. It seems like when it's running, you're fine. But when you start it or stop it, you just die.
I forgot I added at the end of that code run, woo, it worked. And I'm happy. Woo, it worked. So it's always fun when your own code is like, yeah. All right. So I'm going to send that to you. I'm not going to watch it because it's probably going to be horrific and hilarious.
No, we got to do it live and laugh at it.
Yeah, I'm just going to send it straight to you, Frank, and we can take it from there. Mr. Hammer.
Sounds good.
I'm at least going to skip through it and make sure it doesn't sound like shit.
Hammer time!
No, test it live.
You can do it live if you want. You can just share your
I just want to make sure that it doesn't like
right
immediately become like glitched out audio, which does sometimes happen. Okay, we can go into that in a second because it's fucking fascinating to me, like how video even works on the fucking internet. It shouldn't, basically. Like, what do you think? You have frame rates, whatever, that's fine. You got 30 frames a second, but also your audio is 44.1 kilohertz. Like, you realize these things don't actually line up on like frame boundaries and like things. It's actually kind of a miracle that any of this fucking works at all. Yeah. Anyway, so let's keep going through this. But what I wanted to ask before you got this far is, don't you have to upload the transcript in the first place? Can't you just like do that and just say like, give me all the segments with like alt keys dick jokes?
Yes.
Yeah, I can do that. So if I go to GPT here specifically, and put that tab back up, so over there.
Because YTTLP can also just download the straight transcript as well.
And tell me all alt K3Y's jokes from this episode.
I would assume it delineate her voice to separate the speakers. Yeah.
Can it even understand my voice? I'm redneck as fuck.
Just tell it to do all the dick jokes, not without the speaker name, because it's not
they're
really
almost all mine. Like, let's just be honest. Most of the dick jokes are mine.
Yeah, you definitely show up a lot in this supercut, all key.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I just had a bunch of bad words.
You gotta stream it now.
I know. I'm uploading it to that same drive folder.
No.
Give me like 3 seconds.
Oh, you're popping it on Google Drive?
Back. Yeah, I'm throwing the same one because it's 300 meg. So give me 5 seconds. I'll be right back.
Get faster internet, bro.
I got gigabit, but the upload is Comcast. So it's only like 20 or 40.
Weird. My upload is faster than my download.
My download's faster than my upload.
Insert dick joke here.
It's mayonnaise.
I'm in the Google Drive folder, my friend, but I see nothing new. and he's out peeing anyway, so he'll be back.
Probably still uploading.
Yeah. You know, it would be fun if we went and looked up like old fucking Iron Geek talks and then made mind maps out of them and talked about what the guy talked about and like kind of did like a meta talk about a talk. That'd be a fun thing to do.
Or take similar topics from different years and have AI compare the two and see how things have changed. That could be neat.
Oh, yeah. So, what's it called? Dead space? No, just not having somebody talking. It kills podcasts. So somebody's always got to be talking about some bullshit. So I am talking about some bullshit right now. Yeah.
Hey,
have dead air.
Hey,
here,
good joke.
Here, I'll do this. Anybody recognize this shirt?
Oh.
Shout out to DC 801.
You should see it in there now.
Drippy.
Oh yeah.
Show us your shirt.
Hell yeah.
801.
And then
so did you literally just get like Velcro on the shoulders there of a regular shirt and put some patches on it?
This is how they gave them out.
Like that?
Yep.
Wow. So if you get
And it
801,
came with the
you
patch
can rip
and
their
everything.
patch off and put a new patch on.
I could, but
I
I
had to
won't.
give you the asshole merit badge patch I got laying around here somewhere. It'll fit right on that shirt.
I'm pretty sure I have the CompTIA Idiot Plus badge around here somewhere.
I have that sticker. It says arguing over the importance of certification since 19 whatever it was when they started.
Oh, I need that so much. Is that an actual is that a thing that exists in Idiot Plus?
Yeah, one of my friends made an Idiot Plus badge for me.
I need contact information for this friend because I need one of these.
That's amazing, dude.
Oh, I need it.
I have one that says Intel inside, idiot outside somewhere. I like that one.
My favorite is please do not lick the walls.
Yeah, there's a reason they had to make that. Let's see how this goes.
So we are allowed to curse, correct? Because this is almost completely going to involve curses.
I was going to say, fuck yeah, man. Have you not heard me?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so
this is a completely Christian podcast, so watch your fucking mouth.
all right, fair
God
enough.
damn it, Sledge. You could have fucking told me.
So we'll see how this went.
Yes. So for reference, all I did is I looked for the words "fuck," "shit," "ass," "dude," "cunt," "cock," and AI, and it's expanding to give the full sentence of whatever those words were in. And that's of like 3 different episodes.
See how that works.
I'm going to be in this one.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be like all me. Oh no.
I can't hear it. Can you guys hear it?
I can't
You
hear
don't
it.
have to share audio. There's a little checkbox when you click to share a window. Yeah.
Let me try again.
It almost certainly works best if you do another Chrome tab and share that tab. Like for whatever reason, I've discovered that works pretty well with StreamYard. Like if you just
Can you do that through
open it and download the
VLC or
file.
can you open it in the browser?
If you just drag the file into a new tab and then just share that tab through StreamYard, that usually works pretty well.
Yeah, that should work.
Cool shit with it. Literally
Does
just
that work at all?
take a piece of string and some gasoline or anything flammable and put it around the bottle and light that shit on fire and hope you don't set your house on fire.
So Larry, speaking of former days of pen testing, what's your view on the current trajectory of AI and AI as it's related to pen testing, with a focus on view based on how you think it'll impact national defense?
So yeah, I have opinions about AI.
And this is a safe space for everyone who's not an AI.
Me personally,
maybe I should have put AI.
I AI when used appropriately and prompted for a couple of reasons. One, so much of the stuff that I've been doing lately, a lot of management tasks now, like getting management or getting AI to write a whole bunch of language that 10 years ago would have taken me a month of Sundays to complete. Like For me, now I can use AI to create amazing art that I never actually got formal training in.
A few months ago, live on this podcast, we demonstrated AI.
In the news this week, we have North Korea started a threat group where they're using AI. That their whole focus is AI.
AI is great at finding patterns. It's a forcible.
Just paste it into AI and tell it what you want, and boom.
I like the Bash integration of LLMs, where you can just literally, right from Bash, call the LLM with a question. That's cool shit.
And I can tell you one of our big initiatives is going to AI-driven response models and things like that.
We're pushing back with our level one SOC because they integrated AI, but it's not doing correlation very well. So we're getting multiples of the
I feel like I should rerun
same
this
alert
without AI.
because the AI doesn't know to correlate them.
Things happen, AI or not. That was so much fun.
Take a picture of it and feed it to Perplexity, dude.
When I first got this thing, AI wasn't as big of a deal.
I had to figure that shit out on my own.
On another note, you have an amazing ass motorcycle, my man.
Yeah, it's not something traditionally you think about security. Do you watch some guy fix Xboxes? Yeah.
Oh, shit. It's like shit, man.
I was like, dude, I could have been learning about
Who the fuck wants to remember working for a
what the
Web3 startup?
fuck is happening?
They were trying to use
duplicates of everybody. What's going on?
cryptography.
I heard some recordings of this dude basically getting booed off the stage.
Pain in the ass.
Dude, I almost thought he was watching.
Shut the fuck up.
Maybe why you want fuck because you got a haircut.
outside of teaching, EOS, capture handshake, or set up captive portal. What cool shit do you teach in there that most people don't know about?
Yeah,
I imagine if somebody were to do a nice security audit of Radius itself, the protocol, they might find some cool shit.
Also, Joe Dirt says he's leaving,
Wow, I
so we
touched
can all
my
talk
face
shit
a
about the
lot.
feds
Why
again.
has nobody told me that before?
Excellent.
We can talk shit about Joe Dirt too.
Need like 6 more shelves, dude.
I'm going to jinx the shit out of myself.
He's like, "Hey, Larry, how's it going?" I'm like, "Oh shit."
And I'm like, oh, fuck.
They use the API and show them real passwords that they had.
I'm like,
Username sheet.
This was good.
Oh, it's all movie shit anyway.
So-
Like, it's got a flared base, dude. We didn't see shit Wednesday.
The pastor of Shut the Fuck Up Friday.
Yeah.
It's always shut the fuck up Friday.
Dude, I met Jack
So shut the
Sider.
fuck up.
He was only like 3
There we go.
episodes deep into his shit. Cool ass
I'm
dude.
gonna
He's
cut
a
it
good
here,
dude.
'cause
He
this
looks
goes
like
on
he's
for
trying to
10
bang
more
his cock right
minutes.
now.
At break.
I saw.
Wait, shit.
And then
Pretty sure I saw
Hunter, who has
something
updated.
interesting in there.
I mentioned that
All state now.
basic
Well, it's too late
You
now.
should
thing.
Security would have to be actually calling SpaceX to get my ass down.
I used to say fuck when I was a kid. My mom would wash my mouth out with Dawn soda.
I was like, how
right.
many times did y'all say fuck as a kid? Because I ain't.
that's what they decide. Is they're all like, you should got it kind of shit right here. Is cool. Hey, there was a really cool shit over the years.
Backing you.
Imagine
Shit ton of web apps. Use that tool.
Basically-
Dude, I saw your name in the Burp Suite store. Dude, surprisingly,
Dude, I saw
some
your
people
name
don't
in the
know.
really
Burp
cool shit.
Suite store.
That was pretty badass.
Pain in the ass.
This is why Frank should not have access to AI video generators.
No, this is why
Yeah.
Frank
Totally.
absolutely
Frank,
should
I'm wearing
have
the blue
access
version
to
of this
AI
right there.
video
It's
generator.
like the
That's
same
pretty
shirt.
cool shit, man.
Oh, no shit. So,
Dude, you are
that's
intimidatingly
about it.
smart.
Dude, Joe, you were...
Well, thank you for that. We'll put that in the super cup mix.
Imagine if I did it with. Okay, I'm gonna do it with no padding. Anyway, whatever. That's fine. But I could do it without any, just only the words, and I'm sure it'll be horrible. Anyway,
No, do it with only the words, but try to make it musical. Like, ask for a musical fuck.
there's no asking. This is my software. With
Aw.
yeah,
Well,
so
that's
that
a
is
good
the thing.
idea.
And you can actually so
might
even
work.
better ask you to do the interval, like the start and the end of like like the thing, or the concept or whatever. But yeah, so it's that shit's hilarious. So don't expand.
that was golden.
That was golden.
Well, thank you for
That was
wasting
horrible
your
in so
GPU
many
power
ways.
on that.
I know. I'm
Yep.
about to melt my computer again, but it'll be a lot shorter this time.
It was a terrible waste. I'm sure there's some forests that have been burned down for a compilation of fuck.
I want
It's
to
all
pop
good.
this sucker in. This is a 24 gig Tesla branded GPU thing.
It's a
I got on
P20?
eBay. That's shit. It is a P20.
Is
Yeah.
it a Tesla P20? Yeah. So, dude, I have one of those. I think I sent you like pretty much the only way to do that I know. But like, yeah, you need like essentially like a Chinese 3D printed like fan holster, then get some fucking fans from somewhere sketchy, then like and like the best I can do, like yes, you can get that to somehow be moderated by your like actual temperatures, but that's just not a thing. Like it's a total pain in the dick to make that happen. Yeah, so where they just say fuck. Yeah, all right. Honestly, that's the only way I have an issue with on spring cleaning time, because of my own fucking safety checks on my kid. Anyway, so you need to like cool it. His passive cooling. So like I have a thing that runs into a power outlet with a literal knob that like turns up and down the fans right now. Like that's how, and I just leave it basically maxed out the whole time. But it takes your liquid cooled machine and makes it not silent, which is the worst.
I was thinking of grabbing one up. Go ahead, Sledge.
It'd be cool
Wait,
to
y'all
do an
want
episode
quiet machines? That's weird.
because I could use my other computer and walk around and show you how I cool my server room.
Well, so it's great because it has 24 gig of VRAM for $200. That part's amazing. Unfortunately, the processing power is kind of limited. So, like, yeah, you can do 2000 by 2000 like outpainted like images pretty amazingly, but it's gonna take 15 minutes. But it'll work.
How do you cool your servers like this?
Yeah, well, so that's the thing. That's what the P40 is for. Like, I think generally speaking, like Blade servers, and you just get like a 5 rack or like a 5 stack within a single like server. Like, I guess it's probably was that 2 U's at least. I don't know.
We've got 12U on top of 12U, so I guess 24U total. But
hell yeah,
the bottom one with all the storage and the servers is soundproof with temperature controlled cooling to the back. We made this makeshift foam compartment to suck out the air with two separate 480 CFM blowers going outside through some of the vents that go up the ceiling that are already there. I just made some little splitters to blow it out. And on top of that, we have an external door keeping that air in with a vent on top of that door to bring the AC air from the actual AC unit into the room, plus a standalone AC in the window. So it's blowing air in and sucking air out all at the same time. And we've got the blowers are actually on a smart system to where we can control how much they're blowing and control the temperature. So we're at a steady like 70 degrees inside the rack. And we're running like 400 VMs any given day.
That's
and using one of them.
Yeah, using one, maybe two. You might use two.
They're spun up in case we need them.
Which you totally will someday. Totally.
Hey, that lab that I gave you guys. What's that?
IPKVM.
Oh yeah.
Look at the size of this sucker. It's great. It's like a freaking actual implant. Gotta love it. You got HDMI, a USB port, and Ethernet. And then it literally spins up a web page that you can go to on the same LAN and control that computer. Fucking great.
Hell yeah.
Robert wants a compilation of just us saying fuck, so like get on that.
I saw.
I'm working on it.
But the audience wants the audience gets. It's pretty cool.
This is the smallest Nook form factor thing I've gotten yet. This sucker fits in your hand.
All of the videos that we have, if we're just saying fuck, because that sounds like it would be cool.
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker.
You're
I thought I'd be reducing it by like not including AI, but it only dropped 20 fucking calls.
That's not much.
Out of 141.
Wow. Next time. We'll get it.
Next time.
It's in this thing. I'm probably going to lose you guys.
Somebody's rendering.
Yep, somebody's rendering. They have to render the jiggle physics.
Okay. I'm back to the good part. I know. I've been you know that's the conspiracy theory, right? That's like all the estrogen hormones in our like chicken. That's what's making all the men get boobs. Anyway.
Oh.
And the frog's gay.
Well,
Wait,
no,
can we
technically
turn
they're
the frog
hermaphroditic,
straight?
which is even worse.
I'd be more interested in turning the frog straight, honestly. I didn't think they were gay.
All right, so I'm uploading it. This is much shorter. It's only 45 meg. It's uploading now, and it is done. Oh, finishing upload, it says, whatever that means. So yeah, you should be able to get it now.
All right. See how
The
that
0.05 means I'm adding 50 milliseconds on each capture, and whatever. You don't have to worry about that part.
See what happens.
Let's see.
Well, this one's 44 megs, whereas the last one was 300 megs, so it seems a lot smaller.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot shorter.
Let's see how that goes in real time. And what are you using to put this together there, Afix? What's the software stack?
It was my own software that I've been writing for the last, like, I don't know, 6 months here, something like that. Just been kind of.
You said it's built on FFmpeg?
No, well, so that is definitely a tool it uses a lot of, but it's like, dude, it's crazy. Like, you can chop out, like, that's what I was trying to get into with the like how audio and video files are even stored. Like, they're at different, like frame rate doesn't exist in audio and so on and so forth. Like, these different container formats, trying to mesh them together. Even if all you want to do is say, like, I have perfect word level transcripts with like millisecond starts and ends of every word, and I want to capture those words in, I don't know, 50 different files. It's not easy to combine them. Actually, I've learned and so it took me way too many months before I was like, what the hell does like Vegas or whatever use under the hood? And the answer is Apple ProRes format, oddly enough, which makes everything massive. Anyway, yeah. Just before you start, let me just tell you that doing all that audio transcription stuff and whatever, right now, all of the files for this podcast with all my transcriptions and whatever, 114 gigabytes. So it's not nothing. Anyway, continue.
Old ass dude. Bullshit.
Bullshit. Dude,
Ass shit. Dude, fuck, dude. Yes. Dude, fuck.
What cool shit.
Talk shit about the feds again.
Excellent.
We can talk shit. Dude, he's shit. He's shit.
Fuck, dude, shit. Cool ass dude.
Oh, shit.
My ass. I'll say shit.
Your shit.
Oh, man. Why did I style my hair like that? It looks like
Please,
such a
shit. Dude, shit.
Let's do a comb over for no reason.
Oh, dude, shit. I fucking bullshit.
Yep.
Shit. I'm shit. That dude, bullshit. Shit.
Oh, shit.
Fucking shit.
Dude,
shit. Fuck shit out. This dude.
Dude, that's the same
shit.
Fuck.
Bullshit.
The fuck shit.
Dude.
Fucking shit.
Fuck shit.
Shit.
Badass shit.
Different shit. Bullshit.
Shit. Dude.
Bullshit. Ass.
Yes.
Bullshit.
Oh, shit. So, dude.
I approve. I completely approve. This is amazing.
Yeah, and that was combining anything that had less than a 3-second gap into one clip, but that's whatever. Just params at that point.
So, comments from the audience, they seem to approve.
Okay, good. It wasn't just fuck, so forgive me for that.
That was great.
Well, fuck.
We just
I know. That was
tone.
only 3 episodes, so I will
Oh,
let it run the rest of the episodes overnight, and we will have an hour long.
You should make a shit. Grab all the words in Carlin's list there, and just make a supercut of that.
Yeah. But then you need all the alternate spellings of titty. Anyway, that's besides the point.
I did say boobs a few times.
Yeah, no, I've said titty a
Put
lot.
that in there.
Boobs are popping.
All right, hold on. Let's see if it was in these.
What can I say? These on my mind. No.
Oh man, fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. The supercutter is only found one segment to process, and it's just a single word, a boob, I think. So we can just skip that.
Is this something you're gonna like release commercially, or is it gonna be an open source?
I kind of would like to, but I don't know how. Yeah, it'd definitely be like paid. I don't know how best to do it. Obviously, when you're farming, like YouTube's TOS does not like that. But there are, but like I also
like anything fun.
Well, so yeah, so I've got like it's weird. It kind of came up from like a strange use case from like a good friend of mine. they they constantly like farming like these different like, so I don't know if you knew this, but lots of courts are actually like live streamed on YouTube. And if you know the channel, you can actually catch them. But they often don't have them public after the thing's over, like after each day. And so they're constantly farming. Like I know one person who's like 1,200 fucking channels, and they farm that, and then like they try to find something good, and then like they put that on their channel, and then they end up like getting, I don't know, a nice little bonus income out of it, which is pretty cool. But like, so I would love to be able to figure out a way where, and if any of you guys have input, I'd love to hear it. Like, say you've got 1,200 gig of, like, you know, like, or whatever, 1,200 gig, 1.2 terabytes, you know what I'm talking about. Like locally, I don't want you to upload that to me. I don't want to deal with the network traffic of that either. But I need to find a way to package what I've done, which is mostly like Node and shell scripting and a couple of different things. Like that I can hand it, but not give you the keys to the kingdom to completely just give it away. You know what I mean? Which is kind of a problem. And then you can run on your own software, like on your own stuff locally, especially if you have a GPU. It's not that bad. Like, like, yeah, you might let it run overnight, but you could have it find the things you're looking for and then parse out these large chunks of it. And I do think that there are some awesome, like there's already like CapCut, like literally the whole concept of CapCut, which is the #1 video editing software on Android, iOS, whatever, is like the whole idea is they put the captions on it, which I also hate. And I'm glad you guys don't do that. But like I don't feel like, I don't like being read to like I'm a toddler, like with the text on the screen for every word that someone says. It's like, no, I can put on
TikTok style for idiots.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, no, first off, I think that if you like film in portrait, you should be banned for using anything with a lens for the rest of your life. But that's besides the point. Like, I mean, like think about the Rittenhouse trial. Like if only those things were shot in landscape instead of portrait. Like, okay, first off, your eyes are sideways, TVs are sideways, because that's how our brain works. But like you get a lot more context of what's happening around you, and all these questions would go away. So if you're ever filming, anybody watching, if you're ever filming anything like that might be historically relevant, please landscape, please, for everyone.
Even concerts, anything, do portrait.
Anything. It's because you can always take a landscape and crop it to portrait. You can't do it the other way around. It's super important, in my opinion. And this is just producer brain talking, I guess, at this point. But yeah, just don't do that. But I love, like, I was trying to kind of solve this problem for myself, and then also, like, and also I would love to be able to search videos as text, if that makes sense. Like, I'd love to be able to control F.
That alone would be a great platform
on a
idea,
video.
to be able to control F in a fucking video for the text that you want.
Yeah,
and not to do it from the captions.
So being able to do that quickly is actually the problem. So the best case scenario I've found, and it's like lower accuracy, is still pretty good, but lower accuracy if you want to get like word level timestamps is about 36 seconds. So for every 1 minute, for every 36 minutes of video, you need 1 full minute, which just isn't fast enough for like most people. Yeah. Robert Rittenhouse before anybody asks. Don't tread on me. Yeah. No, dude, watching that kid get his life back was actually a pretty emotional moment for me. I watched that whole trial live, man.
I try not to get political, but I'm on that team.
Yeah, it's like I'm
on my own team.
Kid who got caught up. He didn't aim for any of that, and he also seems to have lost a bit of his funny bone following getting hit in the head with a fucking skateboard. Yeah, he doesn't take it lightly, but it's like, dude, I'm glad to see you have a life. Anyway, so no, it's not out yet. I would love to make it a thing commercially. I think there's a lot of opportunity for that, but I'd love to find a way to like be able to kind of send it out to like actual editors, because I feel like there's a lot of people that do. There's something super powerful about the concept of a supercut, where you can kind of like, especially when you see MSN, MSNBC, CNN, CBS, blah, 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 all putting out the exact same phrase. Blah, blah, blah. Like, you've seen these cuts, I'm sure. Like Matt Orfalia has a ton of them.
They're all saying the same shit.
Yeah.
Our democracy is at risk.
Yes, exactly. And like that's probably like the prime example of that stuff to me. And like it just cuts through the bullshit so quickly that I think there's something very powerful and important about that.
You could actually make that You could take that idea and run with it, make it a plugin for different editors and stuff.
That's kind of what I was hoping to do. So I hadn't even thought about the plugin idea of like different, like you mean like editing software? Yeah, I hadn't actually thought about that, but that makes plenty of sense. It really depends what your system's capabilities are and how best I would love to hand people the code if I can like trust that they're not gonna be able to just copy it and send it to somebody.
Don't give people the code. Look at what happened to Bloodlust and Nesticle. Google that shit. Bloodlust Nesticle, and you'll realize why that's a bad fucking idea.
Which is giving them code. Yeah, you don't do that.
Back in the day, there was a channel EMU back on IRC, and this dude wrote one of the
Did you mean
first.
To extend yourself?
What just happened there?
You made me the.
Oh, so it's the Sledge episode.
You made you. So it's the Sledge episode. So back in the day on channel EMU, I think it was Dalnet. It was emulation IRC channel, and a lot of people hung out there. And this dude put together like the first Nintendo emulator back in the day. It ran on DOS 4GW, the graphics extender. Thing was badass. Could play Nintendo games like NES ROMs. Worked impeccably.
Oh yeah.
For something back then, like really advanced. And this dude who he was friends with offered to help him with some stuff with the source code, port it to make it work under like Windows natively, I think was the free text there. And the dude literally just gave him SSH creds or the equivalent of like something he could pull all the source code from. Dude pulls all the source code and then is literally just taking that and reselling it to all these like paid emulator things. Is really sketch back in the day. Big controversy in the emulation community. But it teaches you if you build something cool and you're hoping to monetize it, don't just let somebody see the code. This is a pretty bad idea.
And we can always bring up Shut the Fuck Up Friday too and not talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, yeah, and like never. I mean, that's the thing, right? It's Sun Tzu, like fucking art of war shit.
Yeah.
Forever shut the fuck up Friday.
Forever shut the fuck up Friday, indeed. Yeah. But that said, like if you made something cool, it's like, and I can show you like what it did. Like that's sweet. Like, and I'd love to do that. Like I've got this. I think I showed Altkey like this like cool chess board analyzer thing that I made, and I just think it's really cool. It like shows you like each square and how many things are like able to attack it like for the next move and stuff like that. And, like that.
No wonder you're always bugging us to play chess with you online. You're probably cheating
man,
with your fucking tool you built.
No. I don't do it in live games. I don't do it in live games. But like, yeah, there's definitely like, yeah, I get my ass kicked. I love to look back at over it, like, and be like, what the hell did I miss? It's like
you're training your AI model or you're training your LLM.
We need to do a whole episode on that of running like local AI. Like that is something that certainly could happen. And in terms of transcription, you asked me about the Xeon thing that you have Havoc, and like, yeah, it actually would be fine at that. Actually, probably really good. Live transcriptions are happening. Diarization is happening. That's already in that Faster XSL, Faster Whisper XXL repo. And like, yeah, you can diarize up to 8 speakers, I think, pretty well. So it could probably hear all 5 of us, figure out our different voices, and then separate them with like a prefix in every line of the subtitle file, which is freaking sweet. And then you know how many
tools they sell that do that same shit, but do it in the cloud?
Yeah, well, it's open source now.
Freaking meeting. Yeah. I'm just saying it's a very popular thing right now for companies to be buying AI transcription tools for like their Microsoft Teams meetings. In fact,
it's easy if you're StreamYard. It's easy if you get everyone's separate audio file. You know what I mean? But to do it with a single audio file is actually a really interesting problem and way harder. Because you kind of need to on the fly create like a fingerprint of each voice and so on and so forth.
And then you'd have to kind of assign a name to each profile that it has for each.
It's just speaker _0, speaker _1, speaker. But that's easy as hell to find or replace after the fact.
Yeah.
But be able to do it like with a live transcription, like actually, I think Twitter's like live transcriptions are pretty good. That's almost certainly using Whisper ASR, I think it's called, automatic speaker recognition. But essentially, like it can figure out like if you really think about it, what it's doing is basically just sending like, here's a second of audio, here's a second of audio, and with like slight overlaps, which is enough to fill in the transcription gaps. And it can do that. But when you have that being piped in as standard in, you got standard out, that's actually just piping out the transcription. I mean, then you get into whole fun worlds of like what you can do with like MCPs and AI and shit like that nowadays. It'd actually be really fun to make some crazy streamer bot hacks where like people like could post stuff. And I actually almost did it because I've already written a plugin to do it, where like I just had my audio play like whatever people typed in chat with a random voice, but I didn't want to do that.
Horrible idea.
Distracting.
Horrible idea.
I know this is how nuisance streamers get jailed in Korea and shit. This is not a good idea. But
I like it though.
But yeah, I love the idea of trying to figure out how to like the whole problem of trying to figure out how to say you've got like a terabyte plus of video. How do you actually like search that in any reasonable way? That's a really, really interesting problem to me. But yeah,
and maybe you
could make someone else do it.
And once you figure it out, and you find a repeatable solution for it, we'll come back and let us know. Because that's $1 million idea we'll steal from you, and then we'll take it.
Don't steal it from me, but like, yeah. I don't mind the like pushing a little bit, but like at the same time, like it's. I don't know how to do it locally for other people, but yeah, you could cloud host it. You could rent a bunch of server space, but that part is not my. I don't know. There is no such thing as the cloud. I don't believe in that shit.
So here's another just random brain.
Do it on the fly.
Random idea. What if take the search through a video idea to the next level and say, hey, look for when Sledge was holding his hand like this.
Okay, been there too. All right, so I did another one. Trying to take this a little bit further a couple weeks ago. I tried to have it do all the major like cutting type situations, like just standard editing cuts, right? So you've got jump cut, smash cut, L cut, J cut, where it's like you let the audio from the one cut like lead into like the second video starts while the first one's going on, and vice versa. That's like L cut versus J cut. And then you've got like a smash cut, which is like you do on one thing. Cutting on action is a very common thing that editors do. Every frame is a painting. If you haven't heard of that YouTube channel and you're into film editing, highly recommend Every Frame a Painting. These guys went up to 1 million subscribers and then just stopped making videos, which is insane to me. I don't understand how or why.
Their painting must have been done.
I assume somebody got a really good job out of it. And that's probably fair because it's a great channel and like breaks down like just Jackie Chan's action movies or like Edgar Wright's whatever. But one of the more interesting problems was match cuts, right? Where it's like you hold the camera up to a thing and then it goes to another frame of like a completely different like sequence, but that looks visually very similar on screen. And then you come back down or whatever. And that was a fun problem. And yeah, there's plenty of stuff that can do that. You just take the frames out of it again, FFmpeg, take the frames out, look at like, then there's a bunch of different libraries you could use depending on your language that can like essentially, yeah, you do like a slight Gaussian blur, you make it grayscale, you maybe like crop a little bit in from the sides. How do I find when the start of this video, like this one video, like equally matches most closely, like what is the time gap of those two videos? And then you could have it cut between the two. And like, that's freaking sweet to me. I actually used it or built it because there's a channel that I watch that does like reviews of like shitty movies. And they like, they do like full screen, like, or full length cuts. And so you have to sync it up with the DVD or whatever on the TV
like
link
booty
or whatever.
dubs.
Yeah, exactly. And so think you like Mystery Science Theater or something, and you want to just like sync it up with the thing, and I just wanted to find out like what's the exact freaking offset of these two videos of the opening frames, so that I could watch it together. Which I also have another browser plugin that I wrote that allows you to put any other like MP4 or HLS link, like, and then it'll just like sync them up like as you scroll the along the time thing. Once you tell it the offset, it'll just keep it synced, which I use to then project to the TV, and you do one and you do the other in the corner, like one down here and the other thing is full screen. Then you can actually like watch them in sync. Like I don't know. AV production has like always been super freaking interesting to me, even though like that's not been my software world kind of background. But I
get it, man. I used to be really into AV stuff. I ran the AV club back at Kellenberg when I went there. We had like our own little TV studio and shit. And I was like a one-man freaking AV crew over there for a little bit back in like '99.
I would almost bet like a Bitcoin that like FFmpeg runs StreamYard. Like that's almost certainly what's happening. It's compositing these different streams and then broadcasting it back out, which you can do with a single.
You are most likely correct.
Whoever came up with the idea and then monetized it is freaking genius, because this is not that hard of a thing to put together. It's just they got to it first. They built it reliably. They built in the storage. They keep your episodes and all that shit. They made it an easy to use platform. And then they went from $20 a month to $50 a month. And now I'm stuck with it because I don't know how to use OBS because I'm a lame ass and I never learned it.
I will happily teach you. And I would honestly use both most of the time. Then I would take this and I would feed it into restream.io to then also go out to everything. Odyssey, BitChute, Rumble, like the rest of them. Like I don't see any reason not to do that.
So I use OBS. So here's a question for you, Afix. Can you have people log in and do what we're doing, like with StreamYard with OBS?
Well, so you can make yourself with OBS. You mean to have them as different like inputs?
Yeah, kind of like what we're doing now with StreamYard.
Isn't it like vidproxy.ninja or something like that? Let me see if I can find it. I think that, video.ninja. Yeah, so this is all you need. I'm posting the private chat here. Basically, that's exactly what you're asking for, I think. And that'll create, like, so you hand that to another person.
Oh, yes. Yep.
They will get a link that you then feed into your OBS. And then that can just become a source in OBS. And bam, you're done. And so, you can do all of this. Video.ninja is amazing, actually. And nobody freaking uses it.
I use, carry on.
No, I was gonna say, or at least the people that do use it don't talk about it because it's too awesome and you don't want to spoil it. That's all.
We don't want the normies knowing about this.
It just uses it's not just RTMP. It's like it's stun servers and shit like that. I think.
What's cool is
stun binding is still a nice little attack that can be used to get into somebody's local network.
I believe it because it gives you like a backdoor into their whole local network, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, know what you're dealing with. But that said, it's great for normies to be able to hand a link to somebody, and you can do an interview, and it's all in OBS.
I like to use OBS for streaming. Like every now and then, I'll do some jam sessions with friends, and we'll live stream it and yada yada.
Hell yeah!
But it'd be cool if our latency isn't terrible. I'd be curious to try with somebody on the other side of the world.
I've tried to solve that problem for like almost a decade of like, how can I jam remotely with friends? It's almost impossible. I think your best bet is to start 2 measures late.
So what we ended up doing is I would go click with my drumsticks to start the video and the audio. And then the guitarist would play his riff and then I would do my side and then interlace it later and make it all sound, put it all together.
So if you can sync it up to like a measure late or a beat late from whatever the original source is, which is probably drums or bass, I would guess, and then you might have a shot. But it's still not easy to make it work. I would love to do that. Can you trampoline both of us like to okay, you're 150 milliseconds late and I'm 300 milliseconds late. Like, can you make us both 450 and make it work? Like, is there a way to do that? There might be.
Dude, that is a good question. I bet that is doable.
Right.
And then you turn it to a piece of software and call it remote jam.
Yeah.
I remember when COVID started, there was this YouTube band I really liked called First to 11. And they do mostly like covers of 90s shit that I like. But they started doing it remote where they were all at their own place and then like stitching it together later. That was a pretty neat effect, but it'd be cooler if you could literally just jam live without having to worry about that delay. That'd be really cool shit.
Well, have you ever used like a MIDI keyboard or anything like that?
I haven't dealt with MIDI in a very long time. and I don't have any
Well,
keyboard
USB
knowledge.
to MIDI, essentially. Like, okay. So, like, even if the keyboard you're touching and you like bong, if it doesn't exactly bong, like the moment you hit down, it just feels off, like as the player of the sound. And so that's where it gets really tricky. That's why ASIO, ASIO is like the, correct me if I'm wrong, Sledge, like that's the only driver type you ever want to use, which means exclusive hardware access and is essentially zero latency. It's very, very close to zero. But like even 50 milliseconds, 150 milliseconds, it feels way off. Like,
here's an example.
Whatever you're playing.
Here's an example of me trying to interlace 2 different video streams with a buddy of mine out in Colorado. Started at like the 45-second mark. Or 43 seconds, somewhere around there. Oh, I can do it, I guess. Present. You share screen, or I'm trying to remember how to do this.
What are you playing it in? VLC?
YouTube.
So you're just going to do YouTube, just share a tab and make sure you have the little box.
Chrome tab is the move if you
also
can.
share audio. The only thing that doesn't work for sharing audio is window. You want to use either tab or entire screen.
Yeah, that's been my experience too, yeah.
Do you hear audio?
Yep.
I do. It's a little framey. If you have full screen, it might actually be better.
Oh, my internet shit in the bed.
You should let that buffer and then replay it.
Yeah, we've hit a recursive loop. It's okay. Well, it seems pretty intense.
Sledge likes the screamo.
He also likes to self-dox, bottom left. Anyway.
Oh, snap.
Screen.
Oh, shit.
That was great.
Sledge.
He's got 10 subscribers. Good for you, Steve.
Oh, you're about to gain 2.
I
Everyone
never advertised
subscribe to
this.
Steve.
I've never advertised this before.
Well, you just did.
Congratulations.
I just did. Let's see.
Am I the only person who calls out self-doxing on this channel? The hell are you guys?
No, we do also.
You're cybersecurity guys.
There's a reason we call the podcast CounterSurveil, and then we dox ourselves all the time. It's great. This is how it is.
It's part of the joke.
By the
I think I
way,
did the
people,
same
if
on
you haven't
my
put your
first
taxes
time,
in yet, you have about 6 hours before that deadline.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I'm already
Wednesday.
fucked.
Dude, I went to go do my taxes, and I'm like, dude, this shitty app that I'm using, built in the Chime, is not letting me specify that I moved. So it's trying to tax me like I lived in this state that I live in now for an entire year when I lived here for 6 months. And I'm trying to figure out how to fix that.
I'm only like
Probably gonna have to switch back to
4 or
TurboTax
5
again.
years.
So
Don't
I bought
use
this
H&R
keyboard
Block.
slime. I've not used them before. I've used TurboTax, and I've had to use their audit protection, which didn't really do anything.
Nope, doesn't
They
do shit.
gave me a
You gotta
lawyer
hire-
that looked at it and didn't do shit.
You got to hire your own CPA. Don't go through some damn company.
Can't AI do my taxes?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Get
That'd
me
be
the
really
max
nice.
refund.
Also, thank y'all for reminding me I have to do my taxes today. God damn it.
You're welcome. I like to be your Debbie Downer.
I knew I was having a good day.
I'm just going to add it to my tab.
You want me to send you this little one? Alt key. Battery's kind of wonky on it.
Sure.
Burp. What else we got? What else we got to talk about today? So I finally cleaned my keyboard during the podcast here, Sledge, so you can't bitch about that anymore.
I hope you find something else to bitch about.
I finally had a little money, and I went and bought something I'd wanted for a long time, and I'm incredibly disappointed. So I got these X-Real AR2 glasses, and I bought the little lenses that go in there because of my regular glasses so I can still see when I'm wearing them. And when I plug these suckers into my laptop, they don't have any video. And then the only thing they work with right now is my gaming computer. And even then, they're not too great. And it really pisses me off because I spent money on this. And doesn't
What a
work too
surprise!
good.
You need an actual GPU.
You know, I don't understand why, because these are supposed to just be display. That's it. You're not like doing any actual AR function. It doesn't have any gyroscope in there. It's just supposed to be like a monitor on your face.
So hold up.
It doesn't work well.
Those
Sucks.
actually play video.
Yeah, man. So when you actually have it working right, it's like an entire big ass television on your face.
So
when it works right.
I initially bought the Google Glass thinking I could stream video to it to kind of like watch people play drums, and I could kind of learn new licks and tricks by watching YouTube videos. Turns out that wasn't a thing back in the day. All it was basically a smartwatch on your face showing you notifications, and that's all it was. So I just returned it because it was an expensive ass toy. But if we got something that plays video now, that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah,
if it works, it's like I would like it to work on a laptop or even a cell phone that I've got. I've tried it on 3 cell phones, not compatible with any of them. And like the whole point of the thing is to make it portable. I can't use it with my laptop on a plane if I have to have a GPU for the damn thing to work. That's got to be like a 3060 or better. You know, if anything, I might be able to get it to work.
That small?
I've never buy a. Go ahead, Tron. Sorry.
I'm glad you brought this up because I was actually looking at buying those too because I've been interested in that basically since the Google Glass concept, right? And so yeah, thanks for that. Save me some money. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I've been experimenting with the Google Glass shit for a while. This broken ass piece of shit over here is LilyGo's attempt at it, where this was supposed to go like up on your face like this, and then you kind of look like Locutus of Borg. And it's got an ESP8266, and you can Bluetooth it to your phone and relay like text messages and shit. This thing sucks ass too. It broke like instantly, but I still got it in pieces. But these things are only like $40, and they're shit.
Got 2 back at the house, and there's actually a small-ish community of programmers that are working on programs for those things. I can do all kinds of stuff. What at this moment I can't immediately tell you because I don't remember. But I own 2 of them, so you know I'll look into that a little more in depth and see if it can do what you're trying to do with it. But I mean,
when I had Glass, a lot of programmers were working on it. There's supposedly a protocol in place. I can't remember what it was called. But people were working on open source solutions to make it work better. But I was just like, screw this. Just send it back.
When Google nixed it, they opened the last version of Android it ran, and there's all kinds of stuff out there that it'll do now. As I said, I just can't tell you off the top of my head. Just Reddit that shit. There's a whole subreddit for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What I would recommend nowadays is look up like awesome space the thing space GitHub. And I don't know if you're familiar with these awesome lists, but they're great. Like a lot of them are actually really great. So if you like want to learn about like what is an MC
list, yeah.
Like awesome infosec, awesome MCP if you want to do like model control protocol or model context protocol, like AI server thing, like awesome GPT, awesome whatever, like awesome space the thing space GitHub, and just see if there's an awesome list. If not, maybe you could be the first one to do it. Make a bunch of like links, find a bunch of links, and put it together essentially in just a markdown format thing. But it's really, really helpful as a resource. Also, like how many times do we need to say record in landscape CrowdStrong before you do it? Anyway, next.
It's only
so next question. Anybody here play with Meshtastic? Yes. And my favorite Meshtastic device right now is the SenseCap. This little sucker that's about a credit card size, and it recharges with little like 4 little, see that little pad. So you Bluetooth this fucker to your phone, and then it's a Meshtastic device, and you can talk to anybody else who's got one of these Meshtastic devices. Doesn't have to be this one. Other one I used to like using was this sucker, which is the LilyGo T-Deck. And this one has an antenna port kind of screwed into the case here. This is the one I'm sending Sledge if I ever get it back working again. This sucker is pretty cool too because you got a little on-screen keyboard and a battery pack. The battery pack obviously sold separately.
Hey, I'll
and
get
also
it working.
It's got room for a GPS thing too. I bought the GPS module but never soldered it on, and that is actually right here somewhere. But yeah, these things are fucking cool, and think of it as a giant mesh network where the more people you join it, the more people you can talk to, and more redundant it becomes. And they have these really cool plugins for it too. One of these cool plugins I found is called ATAC, and it lets you put pins on a map and show where people are in an area. So if you have this thing tethered to your phone, using your phone for GPS, and you want to say you're playing paintball and you want to be like, hey, the enemy team's over there, I spotted them, you can put a pin over there but set it to expire after like 5 minutes, so people can know like, hey, that's where the bad guys are, and they can go and then go get them, or maybe use it at a protest to identify cops. I don't know.
And what mesh networking and mesh traffic basically is think of it as like you've got a couple walkie-talkies talking to each other, but each one is a repeater talking to everybody else in range, and it's just going to everybody.
I think I mentioned it to you guys, which if you haven't used it, I'd be curious if you've had any success with it. I just have never been in a place where other people have it. But Briar is one of them, like Briar Patch, BRIAR, and then and that is kind of the follow-up to something called Fire Chat, which was made at Burning Man for people to be able to just like, do you want to send a message to another burner? And it just can hop over everybody's phone via Bluetooth, essentially, to the next guy, which is, I like the idea. I think it's cool.
I've used these before at a concert. These are Gotenna. They work pretty much like Meshtastic, but shittier and proprietary. They'll get us a nice little signal to the other one.
Speaking of sending people stuff, Trev, did you get that thing I sent you? Did it ever show up?
You can't see the screen. Yeah, I got both the duck and the other thing. Thank you so much, by the way.
Yeah, man, don't worry.
I like this ducky. He's cute.
I told you I'd send you one.
Ducky! Ducky.
He's good shit, man.
Alt key, you clearly haven't looked at the private chat. Also, CrowdStrong, I still don't know why you're not landscape.
Because I'm in a car.
Am I doing what?
Just
the holder I have in the car.
His cell phone holder.
Orient. Yeah, the cell phone holder doesn't
that
orient.
Seems like you need a better cell phone holder.
I mean, you're right. I'll print one.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to 3D print a new one.
Yeah, I mean, I already 3D printed this one, and it was literally off the cuff, like an hour and a half before I left. All right.
Well,
it's
then
honestly probably cheaper to buy a Chinese one on eBay.
Bear with me.
Yeah, but then you can't tell everybody who gets in your car that you 3D printed your phone holder.
Yeah,
well, you can, but you'd be lying.
That might be a decent lead-in to the tariff conversation. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but there was like a tariff waiver, like if for value of items under a certain amount, which is why like Shein and Wish and Temu were all things. But that just got thrown out. Well, maybe it's back. I don't even fucking know because the market's who
and now Amazon's got Haul, which is their cheap shiny shit department.
Yeah,
like,
and
you know,
whatever. I don't know. Whatever. If somebody's going to sell me something I want for less than I think it's worth, that's fine.
Look, 125% is a bit much on that tariff, in my opinion.
I think you already pulled back, which is what makes it so insane.
I think everybody except China, and only for electronics, they right now have an exception, whereas other shit from China is still at 125, and everybody else is at 10. I don't know. I don't keep up as much as I probably should anymore. It's just too stressful with politics, man.
Very rapidly. Politics has somehow found its way. So growing up, my mom always said, like, my mom has always been an old hippie, and she's always like, politics is everything. And to a certain degree, she's right. Like the fact that like I'm like not smoking a cigarette inside, but just smoking a vape inside, like that's fucking politics to a certain degree. Like everything kind of is. But like and I can hear that you're typing it into some AI thing that's going to give you some spiel, and and like it's probably going to be only up to date up to like 3 days ago, which is not fast enough. Which is partially what I really enjoy about like having a nice, good news feeder, because then I can feed my own data into that shit and be more ahead of the curve. But that's a whole separate conversation. But Altkey, can I ask where the white power symbol comes from?
Okay, can you tell me what the fuck it is? Because I don't see it, and I'm not getting it.
It's the cross with the circle. It's the whole thing.
Dude, that's just moons and stars. What the fuck?
It's
wow.
a joke, everyone. Obviously, that's not a white power symbol. It's
no, really. What the fuck? Thank you for calling me
You-
out. That was really nice.
You're
Like,
very welcome.
you couldn't have like responded in the chat or something. Like, I asked you multiple times in the private chat, and you're just ignoring
no.
me.
I just mean
and now you're
your
calling
icon.
me racist. Okay.
No, it's obviously it's a joke. I thought this was halfway shit posting, but yeah, no, it's not.
When you
But
said
also,
that in the private chat, I'm like, no, really, please tell me what the fuck I did.
okay,
Like, for real.
hold on.
Because like I'm actually pissed off. Like,
Well, I don't mean to piss you off, actually. But I do mean to say that is kind of a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I can totally fix it. That was not intended.
I know it
was
wasn't.
Stars and other shit.
To be clear,
but,
that's
give
not.
me 1
I mean,
second, and
it's gonna
I
be a
will
big
get rid of
fuck
it.
you, Aphex. I hope.
Oh no, I'm just about to leave. Honestly.
No. Oh god damn it!
Oh,
Don't
come
do
on,
that.
it's fine. He's a good dude. Don't. He's just
No.
misunderstanding. there.
Wait, Alki. Okay, to be clear, I fucking love you, Alki. You're awesome. You're like probably you might be my favorite person in this chat. I don't know. Frank let me in, so I feel bad to say it wasn't him. But it's like it's been a thing for a while, and I was just totally joking. Obviously, like it's just a thing.
Bad joke. Go eat your salsa.
It was a terrible joke, and I'm an asshole.
I was wondering if
I'm
this
sorry.
looked even a little bit. Yeah, no, this isn't even remotely similar. What the fuck?
Well, if you crop it to a circle, it was a joke. Whatever.
I mean, I'm worried about having
I'm
this
sorry,
circle
okay.
now because there's an icon inside of it, and that's the white power symbol because they're both gray.
Well, yeah. Well, I might, show the grayization of America.
Yeah, no, okay, we're cool. Just like, thanks for telling me.
I'm sorry. I'm just being an asshole, and we'll edit that out later, I'm sure.
All right.
We edit things.
Only that one time when I literally bought you a license for video editing software, Sledge, so you could edit out CrowdStrong's real name because he was all worried that somebody might know his real name, and we had accidentally said it, and then
Everybody else started saying it all the time.
All the time. No, it doesn't matter. Jesus. At this point, it's just fucking whatever.
They're gonna know if they want to know, they're gonna know. So fuck it.
And that's pretty much what it is. In my defense, that was like the first or second episode I was on too. So like, we've been doing this for almost a year. It just kind of is now.
Really?
Oh well.
That's bullshit. So I see what you were saying there. The Celtic cross is now apparently a hate symbol. That's garbage. And they just call out everything and make it a fucking hate symbol nowadays.
I had a buddy who grew up in Ireland and like got shit for that, and it's like, dude, what? Like, it's just not a thing.
Yeah.
But everything's a thing now. Literally, I mean, on the ADL's list, right? It's okay to be white is a hate sentence. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what? What is any of this? It all makes no sense. So anyway, you guys want to talk about the Middle East war? No, let's not.
We do need to start wrapping up. We're hitting on the 2-hour mark here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
But
did anybody watch the Dave Smith Douglas Murray debate? Sorry, go ahead.
I did, yes, actually. Thank you for, dude. Props to you for knowing Dave Smith.
I love.
Hell Dave yeah! I've been watching him for 15 years.
Oh, this is my third favorite Meshtastic device. These come 2 for $50 on Amazon. It's got a little screen on it. Comes with no battery. It needs to run off USB-C power. and it's called the Wi-Fi LoRa 32v3. These things kind of suck compared to the other two ones that I said before.
But yeah, side tangent real quick before I make my other point. That Dave Smith, Douglas Murray debate, hilarious. My other point is the next guest we're probably going to be having on soon wants to talk about some drama going on with the Cyber Mentor and a couple other things. So stay tuned for that.
Heath Adams.
Okay.
So about the Cyber Mentor, hit me up after this. I might have been in the Discord. I might have got screenshots.
Did you see the drama that we're talking about?
I might have not just seen it. I might have straight up fucking recorded it.
Okay, we might have some more shit.
I did not instigate it, but I know someone who did. And I'm not going to say he's a very good person for it, but whatever.
Hit me in the DMs, Jed. I need this.
Yeah, definitely copy pasta that shit into our group chat there. So I think that's a wrap for this week with CounterSurveil Podcast. I'd like to thank all of our audience members who have contributed throughout the cast, giving us some nice comments. I'd like to thank Afix for coming on and also for helping take all that audio from all our old episodes and putting it in a format that I can use to get it onto other streaming platforms when I eventually get around to doing that. And last but not least, I'd like to thank Sledge, Altkey, and CrowdStrong for giving up their Monday nights almost every week, coming here, shooting a shit with me. This is my fun time. This is my socialization every week.
Hey,
I fucking love this. I look forward to it.
Episode 45.
Really? We're up to 45 already? Excellent.
Yeah. And 2 zigzags, yeah.
I think Iron Geek went into the 800s before we finally called that quits. Hell yeah, man. Thank you all. Say your words.
I said I'm down for 800. Let's do it.
Hell yeah. So
Thanks
let's
all.
see what we can do with an outro here and get the heck out.
Well, folks, it's been another episode of CounterSurveil, where we own the surveillance game and keep your privacy from getting owned. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to both Iron Geek and the CounterSurveil Archive YouTube channels and leave us a comment. We don't take sponsorship money and we cannot be bought. It's like sending us a care package, but without the risk of it being interdicted by the feds and backdoored. Don't get caught in the honeypot. Stay safe out there. Keep your scripts tight, never hack from your house. And always assume your comms are compromised and you're in an assumed breach environment. After all, in the world of surveillance, you're either a ghost in the machine or a target in the crosshairs. And remember, if you're not paranoid, you're not paying attention. Join us next time on CounterSurveil, where we'll be exploring more ways to stay one step ahead of the surveillance state. Or at least, we'll try. No promises, though. We're just a bunch of hackers trying to outsmart the bad guys. Wish us luck, and may the signal be strong. Because when it comes to surveillance, the only thing more powerful than a strong password is a strong alibi. Thanks again, and stay vigilant. Or, just use a VPN and hope for the best. Keep it encrypted, keep it secure, and keep on hacking. Responsibly, of course. And always remember, if you can't find the back door, you're probably the one being backdoored. Until next time, stay off the grid, keep your head down and your firewall up. And if all else fails, just pretend you're a bot. No one surveils bots, right? Just don't get caught.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.